No more video podcasts, no more audio podcasts. That is where the world is going with AI technology. If you can think it, it can replace you. Welcome to episode 32 of the Learn podcast, where first you learn, then you drop the L, and then you earn. I'm your host, Dean the Wealth Coach. There's a saying in the Jamaican culture that is Dagaga Nyamya Sopa. With the way the world's going with AI technology, they're coming for your job. And if you're not careful, it's going to replace you. So if you're not using it to your advantage, you're out the door and here comes AI technology. So I'm going to give you 5 examples of jobs that AI technology is replacing, and potentially yours can be replaced too. Even my job of doing this is on the line as well. And you know how that is? AI technology could literally use your voice. You give it your voice and give it a script and it will spit out a voiceover. Now imagine taking a still picture like this, taking a voiceover or taking a script, giving it to the voiceover, and then you take the voiceover and put it on top of the picture. Boom. No more video podcasts, no more audio podcasts. That is where the world is going with AI technology. If you can think it, it can replace you. So one job that's or it started already, and you probably didn't even really notice it, is cash registers, or cashiers at the cash register are disappearing. I go into like the dollar store, some of the grocery stores, and they have self checkout. What does that mean? I don't need an employee. I have a machine to do it. I probably just need someone to monitor it or come and do maintenance on it every so often, but that's it. Some people think that trade jobs are safe. If you thought trade jobs are safe, think again. Imagine having a robot come in, or imagine having an issue with your plumbing or your HVAC, and you call or you go online, say, I have this issue or this is not working. A robot comes to your door, searches or analyzes whatever is wrong, and then fixes the problem. This is something that I'm just imagining because it's coming. Like, if it's not today, it's going to be tomorrow or the next day or the day after. So you have to be very wary of what AI is. You have to be very wary of what AI is capable of doing. The next job is cash. Why do I keep saying cash? I guess money's on my mind right now, but customer service representatives. That's a very tedious job where people are calling in. People are calling at all times of the night. Mind you, this has been around for so long, but people are just realizing it now that, hey, AI is really coming into the game. Right now, if you go on the majority of websites, well, let me back that up. If you go on certain websites, they don't have a customer service phone number that you can actually call. They do email or they have a chat bot. I'm pretty sure that you're familiar with the chat bots. It's like you start typing, hi, how may I help you? You start typing in keywords, and what happens? It starts spitting out potential frequently asked questions that you may be asking to give you the answer. And if that doesn't help, then it says we'll send you over to an agent. I'm pretty sure some of those agents are bots. You're just typing to it and then it's spitting out the answer for you. But I could be wrong. But that's something that is literally coming very rapidly. A lot of the sites I'm going to now, I'm trying to look for a phone number because I hate talking to the chat bots sometimes because they're so just dry. Like, they just don't get it when you're trying to speak to them. But what I want to say is, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with my channel. And I'm also on Spotify and Apple Podcast. So make sure you head over there and you subscribe to the Apple Podcast, Learn Podcast, or on Spotify. But yes, back to what I was saying. Now with the customer service representatives, now with people having to go to sleep or whatever, if you have the AI technology, every time you ask a question, it gets smarter. So it's like, okay, somebody asked this, let's put this in the database. If you try to remember those answers, you're gonna probably forget. You need to write it down. But say you've been doing this job for like 10 years, and the last time somebody asked you that question was like 10 years ago. You're probably not gonna remember the answer that you said 10 years ago, right? But now with AI technology, literally it remembers that answer. It's like, oh, similar answer, let's throw that in there and respond to the person. Now they have the chat bots. Now all they have to do is get a voiceover. There's a lot of voiceover AI sites or whatever you want to call them that literally can replicate voices, and they can do it very human-like. So it's like it goes to the database, gets that answer, gives it to the voice, and now it's saying it to you as you're on the phone with the customer service rep. Or a lot of them always have the email. So now if you send your email and it picks up a few keywords, all right, spit out the answer, send it to them, mission completed. Didn't have to hire somebody to do that. So you have to be very, very mindful of where AI technology is going.
Is your credit score trash? Are you tired of collection agencies calling you? Are you tired of being denied bank loans and credit cards? Well, then you're in luck. I have created an ebook that will help you repair, maintain, and leverage your credit. Don't even consider filing bankruptcy before reading this book. If you struggle with fixing your credit, then this book is for you. If you struggle with increasing your credit score, then this book is for you. If you are unsure on how to leverage your credit, then this book is definitely for you. Click the link in the bio and get the credit guide today.
Another job is data entry clerk. If you're just entering data, what's to say a robot can't do the same thing? Literally give it the function, say, all right, enter these numbers or enter this information and spit it out. So that is another job that is highly at risk. Manufacturing and assembly worker lines. We've already seen that with like the Tesla factory, car businesses. Like if you can take away the human out of it. Also look at it this way. On an assembly line, say for car manufacturers, let's say every 4 months, just hypothetically speaking, somebody gets injured on the job. Now, if you have a machine, every 0 months, nobody gets hurt, right? You don't have to worry about a human getting hurt or cut because of something that happened along the assembly line. Same thing with quality control. Like if you have, this is a terrible example, but if you're like, have like peanuts on the assembly line, you're checking which ones are bad from good. Literally, you can have a robot go through that and scan hundreds of thousands of them where you're just using your naked eye, probably picking 20 a minute or something, you know? So with AI technology, it can also speed up the process of things as well. Now, this is a big one. And one of my buddies, he runs one of these companies, and he was even afraid that this is coming into the field and it could potentially hurt his business, which is trucking or just drivers in general. There's taxi drivers, truck drivers, delivery drivers. If this, like right now, it's in the works of getting them or autonomous truck drivers or truck vehicles to be delivering products. They're testing it out now. I think Pepsi has some and Sobe, but don't quote me on that. Check on Google. And literally it just takes out the driver. If you can have a truck run 24/7, do you know how many deliveries that could make? Like the average person can only, I think truck drivers are only allowed to drive 12, maybe 14 hours before they have to stop and take a break. Why? Because they get tired, they have to rest before they can get back on the road. Literally, if you have to rest 6 to 8 hours before you can drive again, you know how far that puts the robot? That puts the robot way ahead of you. If you had team drivers, that reduces your costs significantly. All you need to do is probably just do maintenance on the robot or have software at the base that's just monitoring where these trucks are so that you can check every so often. So AI technology is literally going to be changing a lot. I was watching one episode of Earn Your Leisure and they were talking about jobs that it won't be able to replace. One that was interesting was sports, people that play sports. And to an extent, they're right. But say we get to that day and age where we don't want to see humans play anymore and we like actually seeing robots. It's like, who has the best robots? Like there's a show, I can't remember exactly what the name is, but like the battle bots or whatever, where they're literally fighting against each other and seeing who can destroy what. Now, if you take the human element or you take away the humans and you can have robots playing the game for you, it's like my robot versus your robot playing basketball. There's gonna probably be a niche for that sooner or later where it's like robots are taking over where they can play 24/7, whereas humans, we can't. It's like anything that humans can do, there's somewhere where you have to draw the line. Could you imagine a robot actually running the world or running a country? It's doable. If you give it enough sense, it could probably say, hey, I'm running for president. Like, there's computers or like Chat GPT, it was given the test for to pass the bar exam and the medical exam, whatever it is, and it passed. Now, if it was able to pass, if you had questions to ask it about it, it could potentially give you a good answer, no? Yeah, so what's to say that it can't be the president or a prime minister, whatever it may be? So we have to be very mindful as to what is coming. And if you are not educating yourself and growing as an individual, guess what? Your job's going to be on the line. That's why you need to pick up a book, pick up a course, whatever it may be, continue to learn. Because the moment you stop learning, you're dying. And if you're dying, then something's going to come in and replace you. So those are just 5 jobs that I just wanted to mention and let you guys know about. And that wraps up another episode of the Learn Podcast. So make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe to the channel. Also, if you're listening to audio, I'm a person, I don't like to listen to music in the car anymore. It's repetitive. So why not listen to something that educates you and uplifts you? So make sure if you're on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, subscribe and download the Learn Podcast. And I'll see you on tomorrow's episode.